How expensive is it to buy a car in Singapore? A base-spec IM5 costs around 240,000 Singapore dollars on the road, which is roughly 190,000 US dollars. A high-spec IM6 can sell for around 340,000 Singapore dollars or about 265,000 US dollars. The cost of owning one car in Singapore is enough to buy 5 cars in China. This is not a joke. This is the reality of Singapore's car market. Just a few days ago, SAIC Motor delivered its 100 millionth vehicle, the IM LS9 Hyper. Reaching 100 million vehicles is a first for a Chinese automaker. IM Motors was founded only in 2020, and in less than 6 years, it has already become the face of SAIC Motors' 100 millionth delivery. In a way, IM Motors is one of SAIC Motors' key cards in its push-up market and overseas. But how strong is that card? Singapore may be the best place to find out. We went to Singapore and spoke with the product manager for IM Motors Singapore, the general manager of the showroom, and an IM6 owner. From these different perspectives, we tried to understand one question: why are Chinese electric vehicles so expensive in Singapore, yet still selling so well? Singapore, often jokingly called Po Country by Chinese netizens, is a typical city-state. It covers only about 744 square kilometers, less than 2/3 the size of Shanghai's Pudong new area, yet it has a population of around 5.64 million. Its population density is among the highest in the world. If everyone drove, the entire country would grind to a halt. So, the Singapore government made a decision. It would not stop people from buying cars, but anyone who wants to own one must first buy a permit to put it on the road. That permit is called the Certification of Entitlement, or COE. COEs are auctioned every 2 weeks and prices fluctuate with market demand. Recently, a Category A COE has cost around 110,000 Singapore dollars, while Category B COEs are even more expensive. In Chinese yuan, that means one COE alone starts at roughly 500,000 RMB, and it's only valid for 10 years. Only after getting this piece of paper does a Singaporean have the right to buy a car. Then the car's price is pushed even higher by import duties, GST, registration fees and dealer margins. A car that sells for 29,000 US dollars in China can easily cost more than 140,000 US dollars by the time it lands in Singapore. That is why around 70 to 80% of Singaporeans live in public HDB flats, and most rely on the MRT and buses for daily transport. Those who can afford a car are either genuinely high-income earners or dual-income households stretching their budgets to finance one. But even for dual-income families, owning a car is not always affordable. Many petrol car owners in Singapore will refuel in Malaysia whenever they can instead of filling up locally. Across the whole country, only about 10% of households own a private car. What is interesting, however, is that Chinese cars are taking a larger and larger share of Singapore's market. In the first quarter, Chinese brands already accounted for more than 40% of the overall market and more than 70% of the pure EV market. In this Chinese majority country, the car market is increasingly being led by Chinese electric vehicles. About 4 kilometers from Chinatown, also known locally as New Che Shui, lies Lang Kee Road, Singapore's most important automotive district. Anyone in Singapore who is thinking about buying a car will likely visit this street. Walking down Lang Kee Road feels like entering an automotive Chinatown. Chinese car brands are everywhere. The IM Motors showroom sits in a prime location along the street. It shares a showroom with MG, while next door are Zeekr and the newly opened Hongqi showroom. On the day we visited, Hongqi had just opened its store. Interestingly, Hongqi and IM Motors are represented in Singapore by the same distributor, Eurocars Group. Eurocars is Singapore's largest privately owned automotive distributor with a history of 41 years. Its portfolio includes luxury brands such as BMW, Porsche, Rolls-Royce and McLaren. Eurocars has represented MG for 5 years, and when IM Motors entered Singapore, it also chose Eurocars.
您身边的朋友肯定都是新加坡相对来说很高收入的，那他们怎么去看待IM 这个品牌？
IM 虽然的品牌比较新，
对，
不过它有 is among the giants 阿里巴巴，对啊，是投资者之一，还有上汽，对，上汽是 one of the world best and global car maker，所以我们在新加坡特别点就是说 MG 名爵跟 IM 都在同一个展厅。名爵不一样，跟其他的中国品牌不一样，就是说它有100年的历史，不过也是一个100% 中国品牌的车，对吗？他们觉得我对 Eurocar 这个代理商我觉得很有信心。MG 我也了解，IM 就是说是 for the premium high tech luxury market。因为我们 Eurocar 我们也是有莱斯莱斯 Rolls-Royce 也是有 BMW，对吗？所以这些 customers 也是我们的 Eurocar customer， 就原来你们有一个比较高端的品牌就是 IM， 就因为反正也是 Eurocar 代理，我就来试试。所以那个 trust point is very high，然后就最后我们就他们来试驾IM 的车，只要你试驾了，你就知道怪不得 it's really value for money，怪不得它是海峡时报 Straits Times Car of the Year，怪不得我的朋友都在买，怪不得今天你来访问我，来了解多一点。
As its distributor, although IM Motors and MG both belong to SAIC Motor, their positioning is different. You can't think of the relationship as similar to Toyota and Lexus or Volkswagen and Audi. IM Motors is positioned as a premium luxury brand. Even though IM Motors and MG share the same showroom, their management teams are separate. IM's market strategy, customer experience, and marketing activities are all run independently.
虽然我管 IM 跟 MG， 不过我有不同的2个队伍，就是我有 MG 自己的 marketing team， 因为我有 IM 自己的 marketing team，marketing strategy 就不一样。对了，因为 MG 就是 mass market 嘛，我们的 marketing strategy 也是 appeal to the mass market， 做的东西不一样。IM 会比较高端，比较 premium， 比较 luxurious， 比较 performance， 所以我们的 approach marketing 也是不一样，customers experience 也不一样。就比如讲说，我们在下周会有一个IM owners activity， 我们就从这边开始，然后我们去带顾客就have a breakfast drive around Singapore， 去那些名胜地方拍个照，customers， 然后我们的 landing point 是在一个 private aeroplane club， 私人的飞机的一个小 small club。那些买得起 private jet 或者他们租 private jet 去那些for 他们的旅游的顾客也是比较高端。
This IM Motors showroom only opened last October. We visited on both Friday and Sunday, and there were a lot of customers looking at the cars. Raymond, the showroom's general manager, told us that IM Motors attracts around 20 to 30 groups of customers per day on weekdays and 50 to 80 groups on weekends. IM Motors currently sells 2 models in Singapore, the IM5 and the IM6. In China, these are known as the IM L6 and IM LS6. Before coming to Singapore, I assumed that in such a small country, smaller cars would be more popular. But that is not the case. The IM6 sells better, accounting for about 80% of sales, while the IM5 accounts for only 20%. Just like Chinese consumers, Singaporeans also like bigger cars with more space.
是，大概是80%-20%这样。为什么呢？因为新加坡买车不便宜，一辆车就是新币大概是20万，所以除了地产，在新加坡人最高贵的就是买一辆汽车。所以买一辆汽车呢，通常都是家庭式。
就一家人买。对
，IM5 看起来一定是很美。其实 IM5 就是我们的国宝 Straits Times 海峡时报 Car of the Year。in terms of 它的 drivability、它的 practicality、它的 design，IM5 真的很美，sedan car。不过他们带了太太下来，带了孩子下来，觉得哎呀，我们是买辆家庭式的车。我小孩的脚踏车，他的足球，他的太太上去巴萨的那些菜物就觉得哎呀，这个是比较实际，more practical，more functional。所以 IM6 会卖的比较多。这个次线其实在整个新加坡都是 SUV 现在的popularity 是比 sedan 比较强。我相信这个也是一个 global trend。
Although the IM5 does not sell as well as the IM6, it has won strong recognition from both owners and the media for its product quality, design and handling. The IM5 won the Straits Times Car of the Year 2025. It was the first time in the award's 23-year history that a Chinese brand had won. Previous winners included cars such as the Porsche Taycan and Audi e-tron GT.
Straits Times Car of the Year 是新加坡最 prestigious 的 award。 它是一个我们所说的有钱买不到的，对吗？就算你的关系多好，你跟海峡时报花多少钱的广告费，他们是一个很专业的，他们里面有一个 panel， 有大概是9到10个人每个都是专业的，不是记者 motor journalist， 或者他们是一个律师，不过他们是个 motor expert， 所以他们一个一个就把车试驾2周，从 drivability， 从value for money，from design how the thing function and the X factor， so 挺多的 X factor，
挺多的维度
对，很多的 criteria， 所以他们就 do 它的 ranking， 只是2025的 new model 才可以有资格 come into to this car of the year panel， 对不对？他们就给他们的评分，最高分的 from the 9 criteria 就可以拿这个雪山 car of the year， 对，这是第一次中国品牌拿到雪山 car of the year， IM5 拿到，最重要的是我们拿去参加这个比赛的是我们的最低级 Category A IM5 COE。通常做一个代理商，他们拿最高端的、最 high spec 的，因为那个最好看。
击败了哪些车型？
哇很多中国电车世界卖的最好的那个品牌也是有对其他的我的好朋友，我的 Xpeng Ziegler 都在里面因为谁都要争取这个荣誉这个 award 嘛，所以只要是 new model launch 都会去，对。
Many Singaporeans who did not choose the IM5 did not reject it because it was not good enough. They simply had to prioritize practicality and reluctantly chose the more family-friendly SUV instead. Julian, the IM6 owner we interviewed, is a typical example. Personally, he preferred the IM5, but his wife felt the IM6 was more practical. For the sake of the family, they ultimately chose the IM6.
So the first time I heard about IM was through a friend. And this friend of mine was planning to buy this particular EV car for a year, or he was thinking of buying an EV car. And I didn't expect him to buy an IM because I knew he was eyeing on another particular brand, but suddenly he bought an IM6 out of our surprise when he showed us in our group chat. So I was curious. Why did he suddenly buy an IM6 when he was eyeing on another EV car for a year or even more? So it got me and another friend very interested. So he was the first friend who bought the IM6. A second friend who also was driving a Kia, and the car lifespan left about maybe 2 years. He was also intrigued about it. So he came down to Eurocars, and then I think shortly after a few days and thoughts about it, he decided to put a deposit on the IM6. And then when me and my wife found out, why are they also suddenly buying IM6? So my wife and I decided to drop by and to take a look. And the moment my wife saw the car, she was like, okay, let's just change the car. And just to add on something even more funny, out of curiosity, I decided to just give a car a test drive. I had no thoughts of changing car. I thought, since I'm at the showroom, let's give the car a try. So I drove the car. Okay, it feels pretty good, very nice acceleration. And then when we came back after the test drive, I saw my wife talking to the salesperson for a long time, and I knew it. I think she's going to change the car, and she really did. I prefer IM5, but my wife prefer IM6.
就他更喜欢5一些
After all, in Singapore, one car has to serve the entire household. Julian used to work in the automotive industry and now works in wedding videography. He previously owned cars from Fiat, BMW and Audi. At first, he was still unsure whether to switch to an EV and thought he might drive his Audi for another 2 years. Then, a friend recommended that he take a look at IM Motors. His wife saw the IM6 and fell in love with it at first sight. 2 weeks later, they collected their IM6 and sold the Audi. Julian spent a total of 210,000 Singaporean dollars on his IM6. He collected the car 1 week before Christmas last year, and after driving it for 5 months, he likes it more and more. He did the math. In the past, he spent around 700 Singaporean dollars a month on petrol. Now, charging costs only around 300 Singaporean dollars a month. That means he saves 400 Singaporean dollars a month, or nearly 5,000 Singaporean dollars a year. But what really got Julian hooked was not the money saved. It was the driving experience that petrol cars simply cannot offer. Julian especially likes the IM6's rear-wheel steering system.
So the one thing that amazed me about the IM6 is about the intelligent four-wheel steering. So it makes U-turn, very tight turns very, very well. So near my home, when I have to go out or go back home, pick up my children from school, we always have to do a few U-turns. And comparing to our past car, I feel that the IM6 can U-turn way better than certain long sedan cars. Yeah. So I think that is very impressive. Even when I'm trying to park or if I'm in a very narrow building car park and I'm trying to maneuver my way out, it's very easy. If I want to compare it to my previous car, the Audi, it can U-turn better than my Audi A4.
Singapore also often experiences heavy rain, and in those conditions, side mirrors can become almost useless. IM Motors has a feature called Rainy Night Mode, which clearly displays the side and rear blind spot areas on the screen during rainy conditions. Julian mentioned this feature several times and said it is extremely useful.
So we can also compare, like if it's like see so much water on the side mirror, but here it's so clean. Yeah.
In short, after driving an EV, Julian said he no longer wants to go back to a petrol car. Every time he drives his IM6 out, it attracts curiosity from friends and passers-by.
Every time. So yeah. So every time I drive, there's always someone. They will sometimes even walk. They walk, then they stand there like they'll just keep looking. What car is that? Yeah.
Raymond also told us that when Singaporeans shop for EVs today, they mainly look at Chinese brands. Raymond has worked in the automotive industry for more than 20 years, including with BMW, Toyota, Volvo and Aston Martin. He has previously witnessed the change in how Singaporeans perceive Chinese car brands.
我可以很确定的，他们已经接受了中国品牌，尤其是 New Energy 新能源汽车。我在这行已经20多年了，宝马我也做过了，Toyota、Kia Motor、Volvo、Aston Martin 最高端的我也做过了，所以我可以看得出，在这20多年，尤其前5年的改变，新加坡人的看法已经觉得买一个新能源车不止他自己，因为新加坡政府也是如果你买新能源车比较多补贴 ，more incentive。以前就是说我买的车有那个充电器吗 ？Charging station，所以政府也是很积极的。Green Plan 2020就是在它要起60架 60,000 of charging infrastructure，已经 more than half is established around the island。所以是说他们买的车，他们也知道可以很容易的到处都可以找那个充电器，所以他们开始 OK， 我会决定买一个新能源 energy EV 车。他们可以接受中国品牌吗？这是肯定的。我们也是做了点调查 ，Henry Ford。他们需要大概是100年的时间 to build the ICE internal combustion engine 车，那就是你的 petrol car。China EV car 在10年内就把它卷起来了。
Demand is changing and the products are keeping up. At the showroom, we also talked about IM Motors' next move, the IM LS8, a large 6-seat SUV that was recently launched in China. Product manager Jackson has already test-driven it in Shanghai. A right-hand drive version is currently under development and is expected to enter Singapore next year.
国内已经发布了 LS8 这款车，也就是 IM8， 您听说过吗？
前个月有去上海去看。
你觉得那么大的一个车型来新加坡以后会有市场吗？
会，因为我们新加坡比较喜欢车越大越好。
那跟中国也是差不多呀。
因为我们新加坡的人大多数可能70%到80%都是华人嘛，所以我们华人比较喜欢大辆的车所以我们喜欢是车便宜，越大越好。现在我可以跟你讲，新加坡人他们如果要买电动车的话，他们直接会看中国车先。
Raymond is also looking forward to the Singapore Motor Show in January 2026, where IM Motors is expected to focus on showcasing the IM8. He is very confident in this model.
那我相信 LS8 如果要是明年能够进来的话，那一定会在您的朋友圈里边，我相信应该会有比较大的市场份额。
对一定会 SUV market 新加坡是最大的 bigger segment，所以我们会 在1月的车展，新加坡有个 Motor Show 在1月车展所以在1月unveil 献幕这个 IM8 SUV我已经从车展回来我们的同事在 IM 就给我们那些资料，我也回来新加坡做点市场调查，我们对这个 IM8 很有信心。对。
During this trip to Singapore, one scene left a particularly deep impression on me. That scene was Lang Kee Road, Singapore's most famous automotive street. In the past, the most visible brands on this road were BMW, Mercedes-Benz and Audi. But now, Audi has been pushed out of the spotlight. The former Audi showroom has been replaced by Xiaopeng, Deepal and Avatar. Building after building, Chinese brands are putting up their sign one after another. Julian, the IM6 owner we interviewed, also switched from Audi to IM Motors. One person's choice may be an individual case, but the transformation of an entire street is a signal. In Singapore, the barrier to owning a car is among the highest in the world. But Singapore's significance has never been about volume. It has always been about quality. This is a high-end market that every global automotive brand wants to win. Transparent rules, mature consumers, and fierce competition. To gain a foothold here means that a brand's product strength, quality, and service system have all passed one of the toughest tests. IM Motors has done it. It has convinced people who once drove Audi, Tesla and Porsche to switch to IM Motors. It has also helped a Chinese car win Singapore's Car of the Year for the first time. Behind this recognition is a group of Singaporean consumers who truly understand cars, have strong spending power and pursue quality. They have cast a million-level vote of confidence for a Chinese brand. From Audi to IM Motors, from German branch to Chinese branch, this is not just the replacement of one showroom. It is the turning of an era.